Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to the Chizme Talk Show with Jesse, Handsome Latino, Bubba, the Big Dog Morales, and Raquel, only on LA Talk Radio.
Happy Tuesday to everybody and everyone. Welcome to the Chizme Show with your host, Latino host, Bubba Big Dog Morales, and of course yours truly, Handsome Latino, and hope that you're enjoying your summer. Well, we have so much to share with you tonight, and our guest, Dr. Contreras, will be with us in just a few minutes. So call your friends and share the love with us. My friend, Big Dog Morales, has a few things he would like to share with you. Big Dog, how you doing tonight, and how was your camping trip over this weekend?
Very good, very good, very good. We had a great time. We went to Silverwood Lake. It was awesome. Well, okay, maybe it wasn't awesome. It was great spending time with my family and my friends. I love them to death. Anytime spending time with them,
right?
It's just the best thing in the world to me. I love it. But the whole idea of 2-day camping, it sucks. Oh my God, first you got to pack up,
right?
Then you gotta Then you gotta get out there.
We'll be with you in just a second, Doctor.
One moment, Dr. Contreras.
Hey, Dr. Contreras.
You gotta get out there to where you're at, set up, and then try to feed everybody. And it's just the first day is horrible.
Yeah.
And then the next day you get to enjoy a little bit of it, and then you gotta start getting ready for the next day that you gotta tear everything down,
right,
and come back home. It's just a whole waste. But I enjoy the time with my family. I really do. I love being out there. It's just the stressful day of getting there,
right,
and that stressful day of getting home on Sunday is just, oh my God.
You guys are tired.
It's just, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It was cool as we were at the lake. We tried to go to the lake Saturday morning. You know, we get up,
right,
and I made breakfast, and everybody was eating and so on. You know, getting the kids ready,
right.
And by the time we hit the lake, it was like 12 o'clock. And at this lake, people are lined up at 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning to get there, to get their boat launched, get their Sea-Doo launched, whatever. And these people, you know, they're lined up. And at 12 o'clock, by the time we're trying to get there, the first 3 lots were closed, and all our friends that went earlier were already on lot 2.
Oh, wow.
By the time we tried to get in, they locked that down and told us we had to go to 4, 5, or 6, which is on the opposite side of the lake from where everybody was at. But what's crazy was by the time we're driving up there, we see everybody on the right just lined up trying to get in. Just trying to get in. People are lined up trying to get in. And what's funny is when we drove in, me and my nephew, we saw there was like a porta potty in the line to get in. And we were like, why do they have that there? Like, that's dumb. And we realized why. Because all these people cannot get in to launch their Sea-Doos or boats, so they're parked right there in the side until somebody leaves. And they were like, dude, these people are out here barbecuing in the line. They're barbecuing because they're hungry, you know, and they got to pee or whatever. So that's why the restrooms there.
Right.
But we were there for like an hour and a half, but it was so windy. We decided to pack up and come back to our campsite. But it was just crazy.
Was it?
Like coming back, you could see all the people on the top of the hill parking on the main highway.
Wow.
On the 38, parking up there and walking down the hill, walking down the mountain,
right,
carrying all their stuff, and then having to hike all the way to where the lake was, another mile. It was ridiculous. Like, we saw this pregnant lady carrying an ice chest with her little kids, her little niños next to her, you know, just, you know, trying to get there. There's dad with a stroller and a little papoose with the baby in the front.
Right.
And I was just like, dude, these people are crazy. And I was telling my dad, like, we drove and we dropped off all the stuff at parking lot 6 and made sure everything was good. Then we went and parked in 4 and walked over to meet everybody and got everything down to the lake. Then we had to do that again, an hour and a half to get everything back. And we were like, man. And we were complaining, like, dude. And then we started looking at these people walking all that way, doing all that stuff. And we were like, man, we should shut up, you know. We just be lazy. These people are dying out here.
It's crazy.
And then to think, you know, we had to go buy ice, and that's at the marina store. People had to walk that's even a further, that's like a 2-mile walk.
Wow.
From the entrance of the gate all the way there.
Wow.
And these people were parking on the street and walking all the way up there and all the way there. It was so crazy. No, it really made me think about it. Like I was telling some of my family on Saturday, after I seen that, it's like you see these people doing all this, like they're trying so bad to get down to the water to have one good day.
Right.
One good day. And they're walking all this way, carrying all their stuff, walking up and down mountains. It made me think about the people coming here that are trying to get here,
Right.
from Mexico or Salvador, or wherever, all these immigrants coming over. And it's like, wow, it really makes you think about these people that went all that way. I'm talking about just 2 miles to get to a lake, but these people that traveled the whole country to get here.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And, I just think, if they're that determined to get here, why not? Why not let them?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
But it was awesome. It was awesome. We had a great time.
That's good.
I really opened my eyes. And when I told my family that, they were like, wow, it really opened their eyes up. So it's inspirational to see and think about what these people that are trying to get here.
Exactly.
And we're, we should be better Americans too. These,
Yeah.
we're kind of taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
But we had a great time.
That's
We
good.
loved it.
That's awesome.
We just had the ranger come one time to complain to us. That was my fault.
No tickets this time?
No,
No tickets?
No
All
tickets
right.
for me this time.
All right,
No
cool.
tickets.
Awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, it was a great weekend.
Awesome.
Just to give you guys a little heads up about today, major thing going on today. Freeway series. The Freeway series. The Angels, since last week, we split 6 games, 3-3. Dodgers are on a 4-2 streak since last week. That's fine. But today, it all changes. It all changes, all you Dodger fans. Let you know right now, you're going to lose these 2 games in a row. Tonight and tomorrow, it's going down. Angels, baby.
Angels, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, I think it was great. That game's going on right now, so don't give me the score yet. I haven't seen it yet. And this Thursday, going down, Soto Band is playing this Thursday in the city of South Almani.
Awesome.
At the Dean Chevalier School at 1415 San Anita Avenue from 6 to 9. It's a free event. Also, I saw this thing. Keep this in your calendar, people. Please keep this in your calendar. It's a free event. Participating museums across the country are providing 1 free ticket per email address, which is good for 2 people.
Nice.
To any museum. So make sure you guys, any participating museum. So make sure you guys keep a date on that. It is September 21st. So make sure you mark your calendars, look that up. It is a free museum day. So take your niños out there for a great day of fun, culture, and knowledge. Get the niños out there, get them educated.
This summer, yes.
And
Awesome.
This thing is pretty cool. For all my Harry Potter fans out there, Diagon Alley Inspired Craft Fair in Burbank this Saturday. 2220 West Magnolia Boulevard in Burbank this Saturday, July 27th, from noon to 7. A Diagon Alley Inspired Craft Fair.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Get your wands, your capes, and all your stuff. Get out there and show your Harry Potter crafts.
Nice.
Look pretty cool. Get all dressed up, and maybe you see Voldemort.
Are they gonna give prizes out for the best costume?
I don't know. They didn't say that,
They
but
say
it
that?
says just Diagon Alley Inspired
Nice.
Craft Fair.
That's cool. That's awesome.
I saw this last thing I wanted to bring up. This
Sure.
thing is called the Mad Hatter's Gin and Tea Party. That thing looks awesome. It's every weekend, I think, from now into weekends in August. It's an event where people go for an hour and a half cocktail experience with the Mad Hatter himself. They're gonna get 1 free drink to get you started, then 3 more crazy craft cocktails while you wear these crazy zany hats with the Mad Hatter. And it's at a very secret Wonderland Garden in Hollywood. Get out there, get the tickets. That thing is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I might go, but Alice in Wonderland scares me a little bit. It is. It's just real creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks pretty cool.
That's nice.
Oh yeah.
What else you got for us? You got
That's
for
it
us?
right now.
Yeah?
That's it right now. We
Awesome.
want to get to Dr. Contreras.
Yes.
And pick his brain a little bit.
Well, tonight we have a special guest, Mr. Francisco Contreras, MD. He serves as a director, president, and chairman of the Oasis of Hope Hospital. A distinguished oncologist and surgeon, Dr. Contreras is renowned for integrating, check this out, conventional and alternative cancer treatments with emotional healing and spiritual care. And he provides that to his patients with the best possible treatment outcomes. And in his career of more than 36 years, Dr. Contreras has treated more than check this out, 25,000 cancer patients. And after graduating from medical school at the Autonomous University of Mexico in Toluca, Dr. Contreras specialized in surgical oncology at the University of Vienna in Austria. And check this out, he graduated with honors. So Dr. Contreras has authored 15 books, and he also gave us 10 books, and we'll talk about that in just a bit, concerning integrative therapy, including 50 critical cancer answers, the hope of living cancer-free, the coming cancer cure, beating cancer, and dismantling cancer. And for more information, please visit his website at www.oasisofhope.com. And just a few more notes on Doctor. The Oasis of Hope Hospital was founded in 1963 and was the first alternative cancer treatment center in Mexico. He has treated over 100,000 patients from 60 nations over the last 56 years. And it was the first center in Mexico to offer literature, and it was fully staffed with oncologists, internists, neurologists, nutritionists, nurses, and counselors. And it is recognized as one of the top mind and spirit medical centers in the world. Wow. Let's welcome Dr. Contreras. Good evening, doctor. How are you?
Thank you, doctor.
I'm doing very well, Jesse. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you, doctor. So what did you think when they told you, hey, you're going to be on the Chizme show here in LA? What did you think?
You're ready to spill the beans on.
Is such a great name for a talk show.
We ain't spilling tea here. We're spilling the beans.
Means, but it's a really good name.
Oh, thank you. I know. I want to thank two of your staff members there who made this possible. Maria Bernal, if you're listening, thank you, and Daniel Kennedy. And then also, doctor, thank you so much for those books. We're going to make sure we distribute those books. And I actually got them over the weekend. So thank you very much for being a part of our Chizme show. I am the handsome Latino of the show.
And I am the big dog, Bubba Morales.
Right here. So, pues gracias, doctor, for being with us and taking time out of your busy schedule. We really appreciate you being here, doctor.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Oh, wow. Well, let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about your family, doctor, and then we'll get right into the questions.
Well, I've been married for 41 years with Rosa, my wife.
Yep.
I have 5 children.
Wow.
2 of them are very involved in the hospital now, and one more is involved in as a freelancer. She takes care of all of the art in our advertising, and I have 2 grandchildren.
Wow.
So God has blessed me tremendously. I've also been blessed by my parents. My father is the one that founded the hospital 56 years ago.
Right.
And he was, a pioneer in the work of alternative treatments for cancer.
Right.
And so he really paved the way for this type of managing cancer and converting cancer into a chronic ailment so that cancer does not have to mean a death sentence anymore.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is watching what your father did inspire you to do what he did, or continue on from what he got going in the first place?
Yes, I was always very interested in my father's work, but I wanted to complete, my very conventional training so that I would have, a taste of both worlds, and that way I would be able to combine it much better. My father also was a a conventional oncologist, a conventional pathologist as well.
Oh,
And
pathologist, too. Okay.
that way, I felt that he had the authority to talk from both sides of the issue.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went to Europe and studied the European methods of treating cancer and brought them back to Mexico.
Wow.
And I feel that is very important, and more than to myself, to our patients, so that they have trained people treating them that know everything about the conventional side and everything about the alternative side. Because we, in the alternative world, we have some pieces of the puzzle, but definitely the conventional way also has some pieces of the puzzle. So it's just much better to put them together.
That's good.
For the
Yeah.
benefit
Nice.
of our patients.
Oh yeah, because the thing is, you're getting the different views of how people treat it across different countries. That's what they're trying to do on this new
Correct.
show that they're trying to launch. I think next month in August, where they're crowdsourcing these people with these chronic ailments, and they're trying to get different people and different doctors involved in how to treat them. But you were already doing that
Yeah.
already, so that's awesome.
Great. How many
You know, you're doing
doctors
that
do you have
before
there at
that.
the hospital, doctor?
Pardon me?
How many doctors do you have there working at the hospital
We
currently?
have 11 doctors full-time, and we have about 25 specialists that we call when needed.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. You
It's a
have
big,
something
big team.
you have something very unique that I read, and that is you were saying there's two things that are free, and you mentioned one of them. You mentioned laughter, and I believe the second one was prayer. Is that correct?
That is correct, and they're a lot more effective many times than chemotherapy
Right.
or any of the natural anticonceptives that
Right.
we can offer.
And you said that kids laugh, 400 times, and adults only 40 times? Can you explain that to
True,
us?
we lose, but as we age, we lose the willingness and easiness to laugh, and laughter is a terribly or a powerful immune stimulating agent. The more we laugh, the less we get sick. There was a study done about 20 years ago on comedians, and comedians overall live longer and better than the rest of us.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
So
I'm gonna live
it's
forever.
worthwhile to laugh.
and also, doctor, you when you get a new patient and he or she goes into your office, the family, how do you talk to them? What do you say to them when they first get there and you see their faces and their expressions? What goes through your mind when you're sitting right in front of them? And what do you tell them? What do you say to them to comfort their minds and their hearts?
Most of our patients come to us as their last resort. They usually come because they were told that there was nothing else, that that they were going to die in so many months, and so they really come in desperation. And so our aim first is to provide them hope. We have been criticized a lot for selling false hope, but the truth is that there is no true hope, and thus there is no false hope. There is either hope or no hope, and hope is extremely powerful. I don't know if you ever heard of Viktor Frankl. He was a psychologist, a survivor from the Holocaust, from Auschwitz, and he died just a few years ago. He was a professor, I think, in UCLA, and he wrote a book about hope. And he was able to predict in the concentration camp when inmates were going to die.
Wow.
And he was usually, he would predict that they would die within the next 48 hours.
Wow.
And the predicting factor was that the inmates started smoking their cigarettes. It's an interesting thing, but the important thing is that cigarettes were the currency in the concentration camps. And so he knew when people started, smoking their cigarettes, it's like if you had, $100 bills and you lose hope and you just start burning them. And so when you lose hope, then life has no meaning to you. So the first thing that I want to do with our patients is instill in their minds and in their hearts that while there's life, there's hope. And if we fight, miracles can happen. And I truly believe that one of the reasons why our stats are so much better than in any other oncological center in the world is because of the power of hope. And giving that to the patients is, to me, the most important factor before we give them any therapeutical element.
Wow. And who are these patients? They come from all over the world?
They come from all over the world.
Wow.
About 70% come from the States.
Right.
And 30% comes from the rest of the world. So we've had patients from Africa, from India, from Istanbul, from Berlin, from all over the world.
Oh, they all reach out. Well, the thing is, you're giving them hope, and that's the main thing when it comes to cancer. It's about keeping them positive, giving them the hope, and you know,
Exactly.
they get, you know, some of these people. I had some of my friends that are family members that have passed away from cancer, and some that are still fighting right now. And the thing is, the main thing is positivity and hope. And sometimes it'll knock you down, and then when you gotta fight back to get it out, and then you know they go through. You say you're going through a remission, then it hits you again. It's hard to stay up, but you know you gotta just keep at it. You gotta keep at it and stay positive.
Yes,
and
it's
have that
very
group behind
important. You know, one of the biggest problems is that we are taught in medical school to detach ourselves emotionally from patients and to give them the facts. And so you tell a patient, listen, you have cancer with metastasis to the liver. Your chances of surviving is 0%, and you're going to die in 6 months. And if I give you chemo, maybe a year, but you're going to vomit, you're going to lose your hair, you're going to feel terrible. And then, you know, next patient. So you leave a patient, and they say, man, I'm doomed. I have this authority.
Yeah.
This doctor, he must know what he's talking about.
Right.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
And if a patient buys that in their mind and in their heart, then the survival is almost impossible. So that's the first thing that we try to change in our patients' minds and hearts, that doctors are not gods. They're just stating statistics, but statistics do not have to apply to you. And if you believe, if you go into the treatment with your heart, and the power of your mind can change things. And we have seen this many times.
Yeah, and it also takes the people around you. The people around you, you got to have that great support system of people behind you that give you that strength. You know, you got to have that group of people behind you to push you to keep going. You know, it's
exactly,
just, you know, and what
the
you're doing there is awesome.
Of the love of not only the family members that come with the patients, but the power of the mind of the team that is working with you. So if a patient believes that everybody, nurses, even the people that clean the rooms and the people that prepare the food, we all have that willingness to provide patients with resources for them to survive, then things change and miracles happen.
That's everything. Yeah,
that's everything. I was reading on your mission, doctor. 3 things that I read. One of them is caring. The second one is sharing, and the third one is advancing. Can you talk a little bit about your mission and these 3 things that I read: the caring, the sharing, and the advancing?
Yes, when you care for somebody, you add value to their lives.
Wow.
When everything in life is about feeling part of something and feeling valuable. If you allow somebody to feel that they're valuable, then they know that life is worthwhile living.
Correct.
The second part is sharing. We want to share with them not only our knowledge and our care, but we want to share with them that life is worthwhile living. And basically, we are spiritual entities. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or a Buddhist or even an atheist.
Yes.
We are spiritual people, and what really we want to share is that the love of God can change their lives, because our emotions are dependent on our spiritual fortitude. So when we're afraid of something, that fear will work for you or against you depending on your spiritual fortitude. And so we want to share that love with our patients so that they become spiritually strong. And then the advancement is that we want to do everything possible to help them, and we are constantly revising the literature, doing research, and making our treatments better. And this, the patients appreciate that we're not stagnant.
Yeah, you're constantly evolving your treatment.
We are not just, resting on our laurels because our results have been better. We want to improve on our results all the time. And I think, it's the combination of all of these things that the patients will appreciate. And that's one of the main reasons the patients keep coming to us.
And your facility, how big is it? How many patients can it hold?
We have a hospital with 100 beds. 100 so beds. It's a medium-sized hospital. For a private hospital, it's a large hospital.
It's pretty large, yeah.
And so that's why we're able to treat a very good number of patients at one time.
And you're located near the beach? Is that where you're in Tijuana? Or whereabouts are you?
We are a border town with San Isidro, with San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And as San Diego is by the Pacific Ocean, so our facility is 3 blocks away from the beach.
Oh my gosh!
And it's called Playas de Tijuana.
Playas de Tijuana, is that?
Wow, I bet that's beautiful.
That is nice.
Yes, it is very nice.
That's awesome.
And the weather is just incredible.
So do you live in Mexico or do you live in San Diego?
Yes, I live in Mexico. I live in Playas.
Oh, you do?
So my house, your house, is at only 3 blocks away from the hospital.
Oh, wow. What a blessing.
I'm always available.
So you're hands-on all the time.
Oh, wow. And doctor, how does it make you feel to be a recognized doctor in cancer treatment and alternative medicine? How does that make you feel inside?
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
It's just a big responsibility. I don't want to say that it's a burden, but it's a big responsibility. But the reward is the patient's survival. And not only the survival, is the patient's or the family's acknowledgement, because we lose patients like everybody else.
Right.
Of course.
But when the family comes and tells you, thank you, doctor, for doing all of this effort, and with love, that is just an incredible reward.
Yeah, because the thing is, they see you fighting along with them, and they appreciate that. You're giving them that extra time also. That's amazing.
So are you at the hospital most of the time, doctor? Or
most of the time. I travel a lot because I'm invited to speak all over the world.
Right.
But I would say that 70% of the time I'm at the hospital.
Right. And then I was watching some interviews with you. You've been interviewed by Univision. You've been interviewed by CNN. And then you also been interviewed by MSNC, NBC, and everybody touched a little bit about what you do in your work. I mean, how great is that when you're there and you're giving this information to everybody nationwide? I mean, these questions and the answers that you give, and then the hope that you give that of this inspirational message that you give when you give your answers. How does that feel? I mean, gosh, that is great.
Yes, I think it's just so important to share with people that, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, that cancer does not have to mean that it's a death sentence, because that's what people feel. If you go to the doctor and they tell you you have diabetes, you say, "Chucks, no more chocolates, no more candies." But when they tell you cancer, is man, I'm dead. I have to arrange my things and say goodbye to everybody.
Right.
And that is the most devastating thing that can happen to you. And so it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, because people still have that stigma that they're still back in the 60s and the 50s where cancer was untreatable, or they didn't really know how to treat it. and there's so
That's
many things they
true.
can't do now.
And
They
the
just
fact is
don't
that there's
understand
a lot
that.
of things that we can do for a cancer patient nowadays. We have
Exactly.
many very effective tools.
Exactly, and some of these people just have that in their head that, oh, that's it, that's the end of it. But there's not. There, like everything you're doing right now
Exactly.
is to help these people and to better treat them. There's a lot of places, a lot of answers, and not everything is always correct. You know what I mean? Some people are just too far along in it when they catch it. But the thing is, there are options, and everybody should understand that there are options.
Yes.
They shouldn't feel like
Yes.
it's the end of the boat, it's the end of the ride. There's a lot of stuff that they can do, a lot of treatment, and that's the main
And
thing.
one of the things that I'm trying to promote the most is for the most conventional doctors to open up to alternatives, and the younger generation of oncologists are really, especially in America, are really open to it. I truly believe with all my heart that within the next 15 years, many of the things that we do in Mexico are going to happen in the States and in Europe. And so my dream is that people don't have to travel from all over the world to our place. My dream is that more and more doctors and centers will start doing what we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then be able to treat way more people, and that's amazing.
Correct.
We,
And that's why I spend so much time writing books and traveling. I just want to spread the message so that more and more people do what we do.
Oh, trust me, you are. And I also read that, were you a speaker at the Medical World Conference that you attended for breast cancer, or were you just?
Yes.
Oh, you were.
And
Wow.
I've been to a number of world cancer symposiums around the world, and presenting our results. And sharing what we do, and hoping that more people will do what we do.
That is awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome. That's
And
pretty
that's the
awesome.
thing is, shared knowledge is what you're doing, and getting these other doctors informed on the ways you treat it, and the way you treat it, and the more everybody understands and collaborates all their knowledge together is the only way they're going to be able to treat everybody.
And then also, doctor, I know that you're you have this little literature about this health letter about nutrition and foods. Is that something that you incorporate there with your patients as well?
Yes, food is a major part of our therapy, because cancer, lastly, even though it starts as a genetic disease, meaning that cancer begins with mutations in our cells, in our DNA, the impact is metabolic. And so tumors have to feed themselves. And tumors are bullies for sugar, for instance. They need a lot of sugar to survive and to grow and to thrive. So just by changing your diet and reducing significantly the amount of sugars that you consume, the cancer is going to suffer. And so there are many other factors that you can interfere with cancer's growth just by changing your diet. So a diet is a major part of our therapy.
Wow.
I certainly agree with that. I'm not anywhere near being as specialist or knowledgeable as you are, but I think with all the way they changed the way food has been made from 40s and 50s, with all these preservatives and everything they add into the food, I just think we have a lot more cases of cancer because of the way they treat the food and the way it's not all as natural as it used to be. It just adds to a lot of things that create medical problems with people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not a specialist, but that's just a theory I have. But yes, I think more natural foods are a lot better for us.
And we also want to wish you a happy birthday, because the Oasis just, 55 years, doctor?
Yes, we are
That's
into
awesome.
our 56th
56.
year now. My father founded it in 1963.
1963, yes. Wow. Well, happy
That's
birthday to you
amazing.
and your staff, and to the hospital and what you're doing out there. Phenomenal. I mean, great stuff. And I read a lot of things, great things about, what you're doing. And, we just want to say thank you, Dr. Contreras, for you being there, and you being a voice, and for our community, and someone that can help people when they go there, And instead of, them being, thinking that this is the end, like you say, there's hope, and you give them that. And that is awesome. We want to just say thank you, doctor, for that.
Do you happen to know how many
Well,
people
thank you.
you've treated in this facility since it's been open?
Since my father started, it's more than 100,000, around 115,000.
Wow.
Since I arrived, it's probably I arrived when my father had already treated about 90,000 people. So I've been involved with thousands and thousands of people.
That's amazing. And what are the kind of treatments that you do? That I know you're doing, you do your certain types of treatment, and what kind of things would these people be, going through your
for
facility?
instance, one of the most well-known is Laetral. Laetral is a very natural anti-tumor agent obtained from the pits of apricots, and it has this chemical called amygdalin. And amygdalin is a very selective cancer-killing agent. Another one is high-dose vitamin C. Vitamin C kills cancer through oxidation. Hyperthermia is a big part of our therapy.
Hyperthermia?
Because just heat. Cancer cells are very sensitive to heat. So if you heat a patient, our normal cells can take a lot of heat in many ways, but I'm talking about temperature, and so we can selectively kill cancer cells just by elevating the temperature of our patients. Another one is ozone therapy, which oxygenates the patient in a very massive way, about 700% more than the norm. And this is very important because cancer cells hate oxygen. They shield themselves from oxygen very well, but when we overwhelm them with oxygen, we can actually kill them. And then we use many nutrients because nutrients control metabolic pathways. And so every cell needs proteins to survive. And these proteins are produced through metabolic routes or pathways. And we know now the metabolic pathways of malignant cells. So if we interfere with the production of those proteins that are absolutely necessary for cancer to grow, we can also kill them. So we use foods or nutrients to interfere with the metabolic pathways of proteins that are needed for cancer to grow.
Yeah.
So all of these elements put together is what makes our therapy very, very effective. And if you add to that the immune-stimulating power of laughter, of meditation, of prayer, of colors, I don't know if you knew this, but colors can be immune-stimulating or immune-depressing.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
And so there are all of these things put together is what really helps our patients beat cancer. And another major part is what is called dendritic cell vaccine. So we actually, within the immune system of the patient, we create an anti-tumor task force with a vaccine from dendritic cells. So we are constantly looking for new ways that are not toxic to help our patients. But when a patient comes with a very fast-growing tumor, for instance, or a tumor that's blocking their colon or their airways, well, of course, surgery is a possibility, and we can do surgery. Sometimes chemotherapy can be very helpful to a patient, and we have that available as well, or radiation therapy. So we have all the good things from the
natural aspect or the very
alternative side,
medical,
and the good things from the conventional side, and in many times. In many cases, a combination is absolutely necessary and indicated, and so patients, when they come here, they have everything available to them.
Wow, that is great.
That really blew my mind about all the things you're doing, and I really understand what you're saying. That really, you really broke it down in layman terms about what you're doing with these people, and that's awesome.
And something that you didn't mention, doctor, that I haven't heard you mention a lot is chemotherapy. I have not heard that, and wow, That is great. I mean, you share all these alternatives, and is chemotherapy like the last resort? Is that something
that is for us is the last resort?
Yeah.
Although there are some tumors that are truly sensitive to chemotherapy, and so for instance in lymphomas, chemotherapy can really shine. Even in advanced stages, the cure rate for lymphomas is very high, or leukemias in children. And so in those cases, we definitely use it. But for the rest of the patients, for 99% of the patients, chemotherapy is of very little use.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. And I know this is a privately run hospital. Is there any way there's funding set up for people who may not have the money to go to the hospital for the help? Is there any way that funding is set up for them, or there are anonymous donors? They have fundraisers and stuff like that.
People can donate money to that fund, and we use 100% of the donations to help patients that do not have the money to come to our hospital.
And how would people be able to give to that fund, or how would they be able to find that, or find a way to help if they can?
Our number 888-500-HOPE. You will be able to obtain information about the hospital and about the fund. So if anybody that is listening to us is interested in helping out and helping other patients and make a donation, that's where you can find out about our fund. And
then also, doctor, if somebody wanted to get more information, like a questionnaire or a second opinion, where can they go to get that information and fill out that?
The easiest one is to go to our website, www.oasisofhope.com. Oasis of Hope, one word, .com. And you will get all of our information. But if you call us as well, 888-500-HOPE, HOPE, we will provide you with all the information that you require in order to become a patient if that is what you need.
Oh, wow.
And do you have like separate wings for children and adults, or everybody's all mixed together because you want everybody to have that community feel? Or do you separate?
Yes. That to us, the community is the most important. So we do not require, but we strongly suggest that patients come with a companion at least.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
You need that
support system. And that is so important because they can be a tremendous source of encouragement as well.
And they're allowed to stay in the room with them, or?
Yes, yes. And there's no charge for the companion whatsoever.
Oh, nice. And then I read, Doctor, this quote that you have. You mentioned this, and I'm gonna say this. You said, and I quote, "Racing is similar to performing surgery, and that it requires 100% focus." I know you ride motorcycles. You are a entry-level professional?
I race motorcycles. Now I just do it for fun. But in my younger years, I did compete, and to me, it's extremely relaxing because everything else goes away from my mind. I have to have 100% focus on racing, otherwise you don't finish the race. So when I'm in surgery as well, I'm completely focused on what I'm doing, and so for some people it's a little bit difficult to understand how can that be relaxing. And so what happens is that we all have a bunch of things in our minds all the time.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. I'm sure that you and your radio program, other things are lingering in your mind that you have to resolve. And when you do something where 100% of your focus is in that and everything else goes away,
yes,
it has this relaxing feeling.
It does.
And so that's why I equated surgery to racing motorcycles. Racing.
And then you also like skiing, right? You like going skiing?
Yes, I love skiing. I'm just an adrenaline junkie. But
there's a lot of skiing in Mexico.
And,
I didn't know that.
And I like, I just love spending time with my family.
Right.
And so what I want to show people is that we need to enjoy life.
Of
because
course.
nobody knows if we're going to be here tomorrow.
Right.
You don't have to have cancer to lose your life. I mean, a truck can run over me tomorrow, and here in Tijuana, that is very possible because we have very crazy drivers. And so I just want to enjoy what God gives me on a daily basis at the fullest. And so I want to teach my cancer patients to think in that way. That, we're hoping for a very long life, but that today we have to take advantage of it. Eleanor Roosevelt said, yesterday is gone, tomorrow is a mystery.
Yes.
Today
Yes.
is a gift.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why it's called present.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful? So
It is very beautiful.
Today is a present, and I have to take advantage of it, and I have to enjoy it to the fullest.
That
Man,
is
pretty much,
tremendous.
yeah.
That is
That's a great quote
tremendous.
for the
That
day.
that is great.
That's awesome. Thank you,
That is
Doctor, with
really,
that. That was
Doctor.
great.
And Doctor, in these last minutes that we have, any last words for our audience and our community that's listening? I know that a friend of mine, a very special dear friend, her name is Eloise Parra Rodriguez. She has 2 types of cancer, and I know that she's listening. And so if you're listening, Eloise, we love you. She didn't mention what 2 type of cancer that she had, but she's standing strong, and her husband Adrian is just there with her, and at her side when they go to these treatments and everything. But in these last minutes that we have, Doctor, what would you say to our audience, and just in recap of everything?
Well, the stronghold of cancer is fear.
Yes.
And so I just want Eloise and everybody else that is listening to us that if you allow yourself to believe that what is important for all of us is where is it that we're going to end up. Again, it doesn't matter what religion you believe in. We know that we all know that we're going to die.
Right.
So where is it that we're going to end up? Upwards or downwards?
Yeah.
If you hold on to the promise that you are going to spend eternity in that place where there is no more sorrow and no more pain, then the cancer does not have a hold of your life. And it's like the cancer is going to say, man, it's no more fun being in this prison. I'm going to go someplace else.
Right.
And that's setting yourself up for miracles. So to your audience, hope is a very powerful anti-tumor agent. And being convinced that cancer is not a death sentence, you will have a much better chance of surviving it than if you lose hope. So cancer is not a death sentence. You can survive, and doing things with the power of hope will help you to beat cancer.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Wow. Any last?
What a great words, Doctor.
Great
No,
words,
for everything you
Doctor.
said, I'm going to eat plums, the whole thing. The whole thing. Drink a lot of orange juice. You said get in the jacuzzi because you said heat. And make sure I breathe through my nose very good and take deep breaths every day.
Oh, wow.
Just to fight it before it even happens.
What a great message,
That was
Doctor.
great. Everything
That
you
was
said was
great.
amazing. I'm pretty
Thank
sure
you.
our guests took in every word you said.
Yes.
That was awesome.
We were sharing your page. We were sharing that you were going to be with us. And, for a whole week, I was letting people, our audience know and our friends know that you were going to be on and that you were going to share an inspirational story and message. And, you delivered. You delivered and more, Doctor. And we appreciate you and love you. And hopefully one day we can visit your hospital personally and see exactly how everything is done there and meet you in person.
I'd be very happy to host you, and I
Awesome.
think that it would be a wonderful experience for
I would
you.
love to go down there and see that.
Thank you.
And thank you once again for giving everybody who listened today,
Hope.
who has family, yes, a little bit of hope.
Yes.
Just to hear what you say that gives them that extra hope they need in their life.
And thank you for being on the Chizme Show.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You're officially a chismoso
Thank you
now.
very much. God bless you.
All right.
you.
Thank
Have a
you,
good one.
Doctor. Have a good evening.
Same to you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Have a good night. That was awesome.
Wow, man, that was he was great. He was great.
In these last minutes, yeah, you want to open up the lines?
Yeah, if they want to call in, they can go ahead and take some calls if people want to call in.
Sure. 323-203-0815. That again, the number here is 323-203-0815. If you heard Dr. Contreras speak, what he said, if it touched you, if it motivated you like it did us, I mean, what an awesome thing, huh, Bubba?
Oh, yeah. I really want to go down and see that facility.
Me
It
too.
sounds awesome,
That sounds, yeah.
Even just go for the day and help out a little bit, we can.
You can volunteer.
That sounds awesome.
Yes, we can.
And once again, if you guys need to find that website, it's oasisofhope.com.
Yes.
That's oasisofhope.com. Or if you want to give them a call.
Yeah, what's that number again?
It is 1-888-500-HOPE. Once again, that is 1-888-500-HOPE. You know, if you guys need to get some more information for some of your family members, or if you have it, or if, you know, if you've just been diagnosed, don't be afraid. There are people there to help you.
Yeah.
There are people here that are going to help you get down there, whatever you need to do. Like he said, they have funding available.
They do.
There's people that will help. You know,
basically you won't get turned down. Basically.
Exactly.
You won't
it's
get turned down.
It's going to give you hope. And I hope it does continue to give you hope, because the thing is, that's what you need. You need that extra strength.
So look up his website. Look up his information. It has had a lot of valuable information for everybody. I was looking through it as I was going through my notes and preparing for his segment. What a great doctor, huh? What a humble and caring doctor. I mean,
sounds like a loving man.
And
I'm
man.
pretty sure
very loving man.
That guy's going to. He does great things with people. That's
he
amazing.
Is. That's why the hospital's been there for 55 years, and what a blessing. So if you want to call us and with your comments, we just have a few minutes left. The number is 323-203-0815, and share comments, share anything you'd like, and
anything from the day. You got any events going on? Let us know.
Yes.
But yes, that was. I really liked him. I'm
a great
grateful.
segment.
I'm grateful you set that up. That was awesome.
Great. That was awesome.
That was really good.
Yes.
You know.
You have anything else? I know you had something. Did you have another announcement? Or no?
No, not really. But
No?
just I don't really want to go into it now because it's totally off the subject.
That's all right.
But I know people might have seen that video last week. I had it on my notes last week, but I didn't want to bring it up because we're really going into depth with Castillo.
Ken, yes.
But I know people saw that video of the
Disney.
No, not the Disney one. The video of the priest down in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh,
the priest that got pushed off the stage.
I have not seen that one.
Oh, I don't know if I showed you it. This lady, I guess the priest was preaching up on the stage about that fat ladies, fat women don't go to heaven.
Oh, okay.
So this lady ran up and pushed him and shoved him off the stage.
Oh my gosh.
But the thing is, the funny thing is, like, on her face, she had a smile on her face right after just shoved the guy off the stage.
Right.
And I guess the reason why she did it was because he said that the flaquitas will be able to stay in heaven, but not the gordas. So
was that part of his sermon that he was talking about?
Yeah, he was in front of hundreds of thousands of patrons.
Oh wow,
worshipers that were there, and he did this. So I guess I know where I'm going.
Wow.
Thanks.
But
thanks. What is his name? Rossi or something like that.
Rossi.
Something. I forgot the priest's name, but wow, that was.
I haven't seen it, but is it on YouTube?
I'm pretty sure you'll find it on YouTube or Instagram. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's crazy. The things they put up, the things that they videotape nowadays.
I love it.
It's pretty. You love it.
I love it. I really like to tell people to put your phone away, but God, I love those videos.
And our host Raquel will be here in a few weeks. She's just taking care of some things. She's finishing up classes just down the street here, down the road. I spoke to her today. She's very excited to be with us and bring new segments in. I think. Once she comes in on board with us, she's going to bring a lot to the community and a lot to, empower women, she says.
That's good.
In a lot of ways, which is great. So, I mean,
Empower them more?
Empower them more.
They already have the power. Women know they have the power. They had the power since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just have a few minutes left here before we close our show. But yeah,
And we got to get that changed at the beginning of the show. This is Raquel only. Raquel only.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. But yeah, I guess.
Handsome Latino, the big dog, Bubba, and Raquel only.
Yes. Well, she'll be with us in a couple of weeks. She's going to go to, I think, Spain, for vacation and finishing up her classes here at this college. And she teaches beauty etiquette. and she'll be teaching a lot of stuff. You know, she was a runner-up beauty pageant semi-finalist for Venezuela.
I saw that. I saw that on her resume.
So
I saw that. It's pretty cool.
She's cool. She's great, and she's
Gonna
really
teach
excited.
all these chismosas out here some etiquette, you know. Gonna get them to get their pinky up when they drink their water and
Right.
when they spill the beans. Not the tea. They're gonna spill the beans
The
out
beans,
here.
yes.
All
Any
these
last
chismosas.
words? Any last words before we close?
No, I really think we had a great show today.
Yes,
I
we did.
really appreciate this guy calling. It was
Yes.
awesome.
It was
Awesome. Very enlightening. And very hopeful, very inspirational.
Yes, and that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna bring more inspirational stories to you as the weeks go, as the months come on. We have some great guests coming up, and we'll make sure to announce them and promote them, and then get them here on the show if they can. If not, just like Dr. Contreras called from his home from Tijuana, which was a blessing. And so with that, I just want to say never to put an expiration date on your dreams. So have a great night. Thank you for listening. And until next time, I'm Handsome Latino.
I'm the big dog, Bubba Morales.
Take care, and we'll
Have a
see
good
you next
night.
week. Have a good night.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Stay hydrated. Hot.